Welcome back. This afternoon I have another fun story from Julia Donaldson and Axel Scheffler. This one is called Tiddler, Tiddler, the storytelling fish. Okay, wow, I love the ocean. As you know, it's one of my favorite things, favorite places to visit and to learn about. So on the cover I see so many ocean animals. I see, maybe this must be Tiddler in the middle. Oh, there's a bit of a glare, sorry about that. Tiddler, I see an octopus, I see a seal, I see a seahorse, I see different fish, I see a jellyfish, and I see all kinds of corals and other things on the bottom of the ocean. Let's see the blurb on the back of the book. Oh, wait, we forgot. If we can open this up, there's also a shark peeking in here, and a turtle, and there's a ray, a cool ray. Okay, and what does it say? The smallest fish can tell the tallest tales. Ooh, tall tales. Remember Johnny Appleseed, Paul Bunyan? Sorry I'm late, miss. I set off really early, but on the way to school I was captured by a squid. I wriggled and I struggled till a turtle came and rescued me. Oh, no, he didn't. Oh, yes, he did. Do you believe Tiddler's story? Oh, I gotta think. I gotta stop and think. So I'm wondering, it seems like maybe this is a story about a little fish who tells stories, but maybe some of his stories are tall tales, or maybe was he late for school? And maybe he was making an excuse. I wonder what's going to happen. And then there's kind of a cute close-up. There's Tiddler, I think, talking to the turtle. Okay, here we go. Tiddler by Julia Donaldson, illustrated by Axel Scheffler. And there's so many more new lovely sea creatures, and there's that kind of a cute crab. Here we go. Oh, wow. Here we go. Okay, so I'm noticing, before I even start, that there's kind of like a big picture, and then on the next page there's going to be like 4 little steps or something. Let's see. Okay. Once there was a fish, and his name was Tiddler. He wasn't much to look at, with his plain gray scales. But Tiddler was a fish with a big imagination. He blew small bubbles, but he told tall tales. Did you get the rhyme? So there is some rhyming here, okay? Scales rhymes with tales. Sorry I'm late, I was riding on a seahorse. Sorry I'm late, I was flying with a ray. Sorry I'm late, I was diving with a dolphin. Tiddler told a different story every day. Okay, so there he is, riding on a seahorse, flying with a ray, diving with a dolphin, different story every day. Okay. Oh, wow. Oh, this is making me think of like Nemo, Finding Nemo, right? They're all in school. At 9 o'clock on Monday, Miss Skate called the register. That's like the attendance. Little Johnny Dory? Yes, Miss Skate. Rabbit Fish? Yes, Miss. Red Fin? Yes, Miss. Tiddler? Tiddler? Tiddler's late. Oh, okay, look at them all sitting, and they all have like their little chalkboard slates. They're drawing skeletons of fish, I guess, learning about the body for fish. And there's a clock showing what time it is. You see that? Isn't that cute? There's all their little, instead of whiteboards like we use in class, they use little chalkboards. And there's the chalkboard of the teacher. Isn't that funny? Okay, and Tiddler is late. Sorry I'm late. I was swimming round a shipwreck. I swam into a treasure chest, and someone closed the lid. I bashed and thrashed till a mermaid let me out again. Oh, no, she didn't. Oh, yes, she did. So he's got a story, and I'm not sure they believe him. It's only a story, said Rabbit Fish and Redfin. Just a silly story, said Dragonfish and Dab. I like Tiddler's story, said Little Johnny Dory. And he told it to his granny, who told it to a crab. Okay, so Dab rhymes with crab. So there, Tiddler Says he got stuck in the chest and the mermaid let him out. The shark looks a little grumpy. And there's all the other students, the fish students, talking about his story. At 9 o'clock on Tuesday, Miss Skate called the register. Little Johnny Dory? Yes, Miss Skate. Spiderfish? Yes, Miss. Sunfish? Yes, Miss. Tiddler! Tiddler! Tiddler's late. Sorry I'm late, miss. I set off really early, but on the way to school, I was captured by a squid. I wiggled and I struggled till a turtle came and rescued me. Oh, no, he didn't? Oh, yes, he did. Okay. So let's see. Today they're learning about birds. Maybe the bird is a predator for the fish. Look at that, like a seagull on their fish chalkboard. They all their little chalkboards. And today's Tiddler story is he was captured by a squid. Oops. Oh, sticky pages, sorry. It's only a story, said Spiderfish and Sunfish. Just a silly story, said Devilfish and Dace. I love Tiddler's story, said little Johnny Dory. And he told it to his granny, who told it to a place. Oh, so little Johnny Dory always likes the stories, and he tells it to his grandma, and his grandma spreads it around. Okay. Oh, so, da-da-da. Ooh, I should have held on. There was ellipses. Let's see. I love Tiddler's story, said little Johnny Dory. And he told it to his granny, who told it to a place, who told it to a starfish, who told it to a seal, who told it to a lobster, who told it to an eel. So they're passing on the story. And look, dun dun dun, I think it's going to get passed on some more. At 9 o'clock on Wednesday, Tiddler was dawdling, dreaming up a story, his tallest story yet. Lost inside his story, he didn't see the fishing boat. He didn't hear the fisherman. He didn't spot. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, something bad's going to happen. So interestingly here, he was imagining a story where he's in a bottle. That's kind of funny with penguins swimming around. But he's so involved in the story that he doesn't notice the fishing boat. He didn't spot the net. Meanwhile, in the schoolroom, Miss Skate called the register. Little Johnny Dory? Yes, Miss Skate. Leopard fish? Yes, Miss. Leaf fish? Yes, Miss. Tiddler, Tiddler, Tiddler's late. Oh. So there, he's almost getting caught. Will he get caught? Everybody else is swimming away. And here the other kids in school. Other fish. 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, still no Tiddler. 12 o'clock lunchtime, where could he be? Far away, the fishermen were hauling in their fishing net. Dun, dun, dun. They were hauling in their fishing nets. Oh! This one's just a tiddler. We'll throw it back to sea. Oh, okay, so let's just back up and get that rhyme again. 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, still no Tiddler. 12 o'clock lunchtime, where could he be? Far away the fishermen were hauling in their fishing net. This one's just a tiddler. We'll throw it back to sea. Tiddler was lost in the middle of the ocean where strange lights glimmered. There they're throwing him back. And there's Tiddler. Strange lights glimmered, and strange fish flew. He swam around in circles. He shivered in the seaweed. But then he heard a story that he knew. Okay. So he's kind of off on his own, seeing some flying fish, getting swimming around in circles. Isn't that funny? That fish looks kind of like the Gruffalo. Remember the Gruffalo, her other story? He shivered in the seaweed, but then he heard a story that he knew. Tiddler rode a seahorse. Tiddler met a mermaid. Tiddler met a turtle who saved him from a squid. Tiddler found a shipwreck. Tiddler found a treasure chest. Oh, no, he didn't. Oh, yes, he did. Tiddler peeped out, and he saw a shoal, a big group of anchovies. Excuse me, can you tell me where you heard that tale? We heard it from a shrimp, but we don't know where she heard it. As they took him to the shrimp, who said, I heard it from a whale. So he's hiding in the seaweed, and he hears a crab talking about it. Then he hears some anchovies talking about it, and they take him to the shrimp, who heard it from a whale, who heard the tale from a whale. I heard it from a herring. I heard it from an eel. I heard it from a lobster. I heard it from a seal. I heard it from a starfish. I heard it from a place. The place said, just a minute, don't I recognize your face? Don't I recognize your face? I'm Tiddler, said Tiddler. I'm tracking down my story. The place replied, I heard it from my neighbor, Granny Dory. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, still no Tiddler. Nearly home time. Where could he be? Just as the fishes were finishing their lessons. Dun, dun, dun. In swam Tiddler at 3:30. Oh, did that rhyme? Let's see. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, still no Tiddler. Nearly home time. Where could he be? Just as the fishes were finishing their lessons, in swam Tiddler at 3:30, right? Sorry I'm late, but I swam into a fishing net. I managed to escape, and I swam away and hid. I was lost, I was scared, but a story led me home again. Oh, no, it didn't. Oh, yes, it did. It's just another story, said leopardfish and leaffish. Just a silly story, said butterfish and blue. It isn't just a story, said little Johnny Dory. Da, da, da. It isn't just a story, said little Johnny Dory. And he told it to a writer friend who wrote it down for you. Isn't that fun? So little Johnny Dory told it to a diver who's got a notepad, who's written down the story and now has shared it with us. Let's look close up. There's his shipwreck, and there's the diver. Isn't that fun? So, oh my gosh, there are so many things I want to do when I just do something at the end of this. There's so many details. So I thought it was so cool how the little fish in their school, they had their little chalkboards, just like we have whiteboards. And if you'll remember, one of the first lessons they were looking at they were learning about fish, and there was like a fish skeleton. Then they were learning about seagulls, about birds. Then, a couple pages later, they were learning about, did you notice what they were learning? Did you see that detail in the illustration? The next time they had been learning, this was the day when Tiddler didn't show up, and they had been learning just that day about fishing boats, I think, because they've got to be careful and stay away from fishing boats. Isn't that fun? That's a cool detail. And I also think it's so cool how at the end he ends up telling it to a diver, because I like scuba diving, right? You guys know that, huh? Isn't that cool? Wow. That's just such a fun story with Tiddler. And I also think it's neat to notice how it goes forward and backward, right? So when it talks about how the story is getting passed on, first little Johnny Dory tells it to his granny, and the granny tells it to different people, right? Not people, sorry, to different creatures, right? So I'm just trying to find that page also because that was so cool. What happened here? Hold on. Just a sec. Okay, his granny told it to a crab. Here. First, his granny told it to a crab. Oh, there. Here we go. I couldn't. The pages were sticking. So the crab told it to a place, who told it to a starfish, who told it to a seal, who told it to a lobster, who told it to an eel, right? And then at the end of the story, the way he finds his way back home is backwards through those same animals, right? So the anchovies heard it from a shrimp, who heard it from a herring, who heard it from an eel, who heard it from a lobster, who heard it from a seal, who heard it from a starfish, who heard it from a place, and the place had heard it from Granny Dory. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed Tiddler, the storytelling fish. And if you'll remember, you know, in the beginning, they kept saying that he was kind of telling tall tales because maybe he was exaggerating about where he had been and what had happened. But in the end, something bad really did happen. But he was okay in the end. So don't forget, keep washing your hands, cover your coughs and sneezes, do some reading, do some writing, help your family around the house. I love you guys. I miss you. Elbow bump.